Can I feed me and my wife for the week on a budget of £25? Well, if I wanted to, I could do it on about a fiver by making the biggest struggle meals imaginable. But the point of this challenge is to see if I can, one, minimize food waste by using items already in the house, and two, make something I would actually want to eat. So the average weekly food bill for 2 adults in the UK is roughly £95, with an additional £25 on eating out. That is a lot, but it's not surprising considering inflation and shrinkflation these days. The main strategies I had going into this mission was firstly to try and find cheaper alternatives, for example turkey mince instead of beef mince, and secondly lean towards frozen foods where I can, as I noticed buying stuff like frozen chicken breast is not only cheaper than the one in the fridge but also lasts longer. Having said that, Lidl was completely out of frozen blueberries. What a shame. So I knew I'd have to venture out again during the week. But for our initial shop, the price came to £19.77. And here's our initial haul. Still got a few pennies to play around with for the rest of the week, but let's see what we can do with this, shall we? I'm going to cook that chicken breast maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. So for now, I'll let that defrost in a wet brine made up of salt and rosemary. Just to be a bit more different, I'm going to use a dry brine for the wings and make that later on in the week too. But for today's dinner, we're doing a lovely turkey pork bolognese. I haven't had bolognese in like 2 years. No idea why. I've also noticed recently that I stopped overeating at dinner time and save money when I pack leftovers into meal prep containers. So that can be lunch for another time. If you'd like to know what I had for breakfast, I actually forgot to buy bread, but I remembered that I had a frozen loaf of sourdough in the freezer. So I use that to make a delicious bacon and egg sandwich. On most days for breakfast, I'll usually eat a sandwich like that one, or I'll just have some coffee and nothing else, or I'll make overnight oats, which is why I needed those frozen blueberries. Remember that frozen chicken breast from Sunday? This is him now. Wednesday's dinner was chicken breast, potatoes, and spinach on a bed of Dijon mustard velouté. Who says you can't be fancy on a budget, eh? And I made way too many potatoes, so with the leftovers, I made a simple potato salad and put some wings in the air fryer for a quick barbecue and packed them away for lunch for another day. On to my second shop, this time in Aldi, and it actually had my frozen blueberries. Yeah, boy. Also, I felt like making banana bread, so I bought some bananas as well. I put some of the frozen blueberries and yogurt inside the banana bread as well. It was very delicious. So on Thursday, when I planned to cook those wings we browned on Sunday, they smelled mad dodgy. So I used that as an excuse to go to my favorite app, Too Good To Go. £3 for a Turkish kebab, mate. Long story short, those wings were in fact okay after cooking, so I used a full pack of gochujang I had sitting in the fridge to make some Korean fried chicken to eat later into the week. And I finally used some frozen prawns in the freezer to make some prawn linguine for Friday's dinner. And I made sure I made loads so I don't have to cook nothing on Saturday. I did a final shop as I ran out of milk, which brings the total spent to £24.60. Not bad.